our friend and colleague Ann Noonan has registered to speak, and so Ann, I'd like to invite you to come to the table and introduce yourself and address the board. Thank you, Ann.
Thank you. My name's Ann Noonan. I'm the Executive Director for the Committee for U.S. International Broadcasting. I'd like to be sure that everyone here knows that CUSIB is a nonpartisan organization that came about at the request of people who work on matters involving journalism for media freedom and human rights. All of our work is done on a volunteer basis. We have no budget, so we're beholden to nobody. I'd like to share CUSIB's Christmas wish list of 8 things we hope will happen in the spirit of peace on earth and goodwill to all. Number 1, for the BBG to fully fund and not hinder Voice of America's Cantonese, Mandarin, and Tibetan services, especially radio broadcasts. These vital broadcasts provide desperately needed information for people who are being crushed out of existence in Tibet and China by China's government. These broadcasts are cheap, they help poor people receive news, and unlike the internet or satellite television dishes, they cannot be monitored. We implore the IBB to stop its efforts to effectively shut down the Voice of America broadcast to China by insisting its transition to internet only. Number 2, for Radio Free Asia to continue to keep the world apprised about the case of Chinese dissident Zhang Lin, whose trial began today and whose daughters, Annie and Ru Li, now live in California with CUSIB board member Reggie Littlejohn. Number 3, for VOA to remain fully funded and for the BBG governors to break the bureaucratic resistance at VOA and carry out immediate management reforms both at VOA and IBB. We applaud BBG for the change of management at RFERL. We applaud Kevin Close for his efforts to restore high journalistic standards to RFERL and for his outstanding coverage of events in Ukraine. We also applaud VOA Ukrainian Services for its outstanding coverage. But VOA as an organization and VOA's central newsroom continue to fail. VOA's English media's coverage of Vice President Biden and U.S. Senator McCain were especially deficient. There are personnel changes that need to be made immediately. Experienced journalists with managerial experience should be hired to fulfill VOA's mission to bring news, information, and opinions for worldwide audiences. This includes reporting on U.S. foreign policy. Number 4, for the BBG to resolve its lawsuits that were brought against RFERL by its discriminated foreign employees in Prague. We also appeal to BBG and to Kevin Close to rehire the women journalists who were fired by the previous management from RFERL Kazakh service after they objected to offensive and inappropriate content change. Number 5, for the BBG to resolve the lawsuits that were brought by illegally fired RIFed employees who worked for the Office of Cuba Broadcasting. Let these people be reinstated. Their stories demonstrate incredible, tremendous injustice by IBB executives. Number 6, for the BBG to revise its December 16th press release that boasts research showing growth in their audience. We consider this particular press release to be highly deceptive. The BBG has lost audiences in the Middle East and in other critical regions for the United States, and that needs to be addressed. Most of the reported gains appear to be in Latin America, where IBB probably counted an already existing audience. Number 7, for the BBG governors to realize the value and independence of surrogate broadcasters. We need them to continue to coexist with VOA, which needs to be reformed to fulfill its own news mission and to start serious reporting of U.S. news and opinions. And number 8, for the BBG to send CUSIB the documents that we asked for on September 19, 2013, in 2 Freedom of Information requests. We expect that any information that may be redacted in these U.S. government documents will have been done for genuine legal cause and not because the information turns out to be embarrassing to any current or former IBB employees. Thank you, and may you all have a blessed Christmas.
Thank you, Ann.